gaslight someone with such a word, and then we're trying to see how we normalize it. Like, you should be fine with it, if we begin to see that it's like you putting a knife through someone's throat when you use such word, just maybe the mindset will change. But then, how do we change this mindset overnight? It can happen that way. It's not magic. It took us a while to get to this point, and yes, it's going to take us a little bit of a while to adjust, which simply means all hands must be on deck. Everybody must be up and doing in this aspect. So in the bus, you hear someone say this, try not to be judgmental, but let's try and let them understand that now using such words, such terms, and are inappropriate. So by the time we begin to understand that, okay, these are inappropriate words in the community, we are no longer normalizing it, that will go a long way. Schools are putting some of this thing in their curriculum. Teachers are not using the word "are you nuts?" And then using some signs to describe. By the time little ones begin to understand that, no, these words are not, just like we say there are words that are not, they are prohibited in the school premises. I think we can begin to say, okay, these words are also prohibited. We shouldn't use this word because it's not ending, it's not stopping at you. Once you say it, you go. But whoever is receiving it, it either contributes to it, in fact, it increases whatever it is, and then you deprive that person the ability to speak up next time. And even if they have a relative, that's, what would they say, what would they perceive of us, would hinder them as well. So I think we need to be guided with our choice of words, and that's why you see that the act is trying to eradicate, literally saying this word is a no. So maybe I'm not saying that's what they should do, but maybe when we begin to say it's a criminal offense, maybe people will be more guided. But however, I think more awareness needs to be in place so people understand that this is not okay.
You're the clinical psychologist. Let's take this conversation a little further. Mental health is a really broad, all right, very, very broad. There's a lot of, mental health issues and challenges that people face. Issues like depression, anxiety, all of frustration, all of those things are also parts of, mental health challenges. And in a country like ours, or in today's world, there's a lot of things that can literally drive someone into frustration and depression, on a daily. There are many Nigerians today who the cost of living is driving them, really getting to a point of depression. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago, and she was like, look, I don't know how I'm going to survive next year because I go to bed these days and I don't sleep because I'm thinking about my rent for next year. It's not even this year, next year. And, she was really bitter about it. And you could tell that this person is getting anxious, right?
Yeah.
How do we get to the point where we are able to, distinguish all of these mental health challenges? And then how do we encourage people to seek help or speak to a therapist when they begin to feel like this?
First of all, we need to understand that it's important that everybody can access this care. A lot of people think it's a specific illness that should make me access a treatment center. Just as physical illness, we have the symptoms that we look out for, and then we can tell ourselves, even at work, that I think I need to see my doctor. I'm feeling feverish. I have cold. But we don't prescribe those medications ourselves. We go see the physician. It's also important that we look out for some signs. Some of the major signs we should look out for is when you're being deprived of sleep. without a major, you can't really tell why. So when I mean you can tell why, in the sense that I have an exam to write, I have a reason why I'm being deprived of sleep. I have an appointment to meet up with. But now you don't even have any of this, but you're deprived of sleep because you're worried. Sometimes we even go to bed, but we can stay sleepy. We wake up at interval, and then once we are up, some persons will tell you, I sleep at 8, and by 11 I'm up and I'm doing nothing. Then we begin to check what's going on. Something, there's a problem, there's a breach already. And when we begin to see the sign, it's and sometimes we don't even have a reason. That's the individual cannot pinpoint why or what is going on. But then the consciousness that being deprived of sleep is not a good see that sign and know that, okay, something is wrong. We're not waiting for when we have the a display before we say, okay, there's a case here. Another is undue sadness. You cannot, nothing major had happened, but there's this undue sadness that has persisted for more than 2 weeks. There's a call you need to place. You need to call for help. Something is going on. We unnecessary, undue heartbeat. Like
palpitation.
You just keep having those palpitations, and then you're wondering, what is that? Fear keeps coming in, and you can't point out what exactly it is. Some of these things are things we should look out for as individual. And yes, you cannot diagnose yourself of anything. You have to be clinically diagnosed, and that's why it's important that you call for help. And now, to answer the other question, it's difficult to actually call for help. I'm saying this because of the cultural factor, the barriers, which is stigma, still being a hindrance to people seeking for help. That we as Nigerians trying to normalize that, look, it's okay not to be okay. When people tell you, I feel empty, we shouldn't dismiss such words, but rather, someone said one time, tell you don't look depressed. And the question I ask is, does depression have a face? When people around us begin to say things like this, how do you expect me to seek for help when someone is already telling me I don't look depressed? You're a big girl now, you have everything. Do you think I want to go see a doctor? I would not, because I feel the doctor will say the same thing. Do you understand? Oh, so and then you're doubting your own reality, in sense that you're feeling empty, but now people see different. They're seeing you as you're rich, you don't have a problem, and then you're seeing it that there's something not okay. So who would believe me? Are you saying why people find it hard to reach out for help? Really speak up or call for help. But if you're listening to us out there, I need you to know that, look, it's important that you understand that help is out there. It is okay not to be okay. We need to normalize it. You can be functioning. That's even the funny part of it. You can be functioning, yet you're depressed. So you come to work, do your work and everything, but you're still depressed. So people need to understand that, see, don't dismiss some of this concern when your loved one, your friend is saying, I feel empty. I don't feel like doing what I used to enjoy anymore. We shouldn't say, you know what, if I were you. That's wrong. You're not them. You cannot even imagine what is going on with them at the moment. Do you understand? And then to wrap it up on the same question, which says that how do people seek for help? So if you can help that person at the moment, please do not say a word. You could just tell them that I really don't know how you feel, but then this feeling you're feeling, I believe is real. That is important, which brings us to what we do say where I'm coming from. Not all wounds are visible. Be kind with words. Because the words of our mouth could make another person commit suicide. And then you didn't even know that they were nursing it. And yes, suicide is not something that you just see it on their face. In fact, they could smile with you, and the next minute they just end it. And that's because they see it as the best option at that moment. But really, suicide is really not an option. There's help out there.
This is the crux of the conversation this morning, and I'm hoping that you've taken something out of this. A lot of times we tell ourselves, oh, these things, mental health issues are not for black people. We're strong. We'll brave it. Come on, nothing is nothing. I mean, we tell people, come on, be strong.
You can handle it.
You can handle it. Whatever it is that you're going through, there's nothing you're going through that somebody hasn't gone through before. We see these things, to ourselves, and they probably are not the best things to say, and we say them out of ignorance. We don't know that they're not the best things to say, so we just say them. They feel like the right thing to say sometimes. So please, if there's nothing you're taking away from this, do not discourage people who want to seek help, and also do not say things that would further dampen their spirits. Okay, very, very important. Judith, I'm going to come back to you shortly, but the conversation continues. We're going to bring in our callers who are going to be joining in and sharing thoughts, asking questions. So just prepare yourselves, get ready. They probably will be asking the questions. So the numbers to call 09073530044 and 09087668888. You can send SMS and WhatsApp messages to 09097054450. The conversation is around the Mental Health Day, which is today, and the theme for this year's Mental Health Day is mental health is a universal human right. It is your right to be mentally well. Stay with us. The conversation continues.
Lotto don't come. Come chop better prices every day with only 100 naira. I know they want you. Every day, people get chance to win bone straight hair, iPhones, Samsung phone, iPad, laptops, TV, and many original there for 100 naira in Kechi where you day. Yet Sunday, where that's your 100 naira change. Oga Yanga don't come. Yanga Lotto don't land with just 100 naira. If it be you, play Yanga Lotto today. Yanga Lotto, do Yanga.
Oga Yanga, madam, make we do the Yanga. Like say we jump in Maka, brother, waiting with the matter. Won't you make it Yanga? Yanga Lotto, Yanga Lotto, which come chop it Yanga.
Please listen to this announcement. A reputable media house is looking for experienced media marketers with excellent command of English and a minimum experience of 3 years. Interested applicants should call 080 5919 8658. That is 080 5919 8658. Thank you.
Anyone told you can talk about your business on radio for just 15,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. The Entrepreneur. Talk your business for just 15,000 naira. Hurry now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Thank you for leaving your dials locked on your radio experience. You can count on the phone numbers to call to be a part of the conversation. We've been talking mental health because it's Mental Health Day 2023 with the theme mental health is a universal human right. It is your right to be mentally well. So join the conversation now, 090-7353-0044 and 090-87668888. Your SMS and WhatsApp messages go to 090-9705-4450. My guests have been Judith Emma Joseph, Program Officer Mental Health, the Leprosy Mission Nigeria. Also joining us in the conversation is Taiwo Oluwaseun. Jesus Christ, I'm going to leave that. Taiwo is joining us. She's a clinical psychologist. I beg your pardon. Please pardon me if I murdered your name. Join the conversation. Let's bring in this caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prince Eshenacho.
Good morning, Comrade Haruna. Good to have you.
Thank you. Good morning to the resource person over there.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
All right. Professor Hedacho, a lot of things been happening in this country. I think my opinion is government need to come in because almost 80% of Nigerians are having mental challenge. I'm one of them because of the hardship of life. You understand? We every blessed day we don't even know our fate. So I think, in my own personal opinion, government have a lot to do to cushion the effect of the health of our citizens. Because what happened yesterday, a minor something in my area, have caused someone to lose his life.
What happened?
Two vehicles were just coming. One was trying to maneuver the other one. Before you know, there's a argument between the two of them that what happened, you scratch my car, I scratch your car. One came out with a tear gas, the other one came out with a knife. Before you know, fight have started. He stabbed somebody, the one carrying a knife stabbed the other guy with tear gas 3 times in his stomach.
Jeez.
You see, it shows that most of us are having a kind of illness in us that we don't even know the cause of it because things are not moving fine. So in conclusion, government have a very vital role to play on our health. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Haruna. Appreciate you calling in and sharing that one with us. And, things just happen, and sometimes we don't trace them. We don't find out what really happened or what's the reason behind a person acting in such a manner. You hear people have small conversations and it leads to something else, probably pent-up anger and frustration. Hello, good morning.
God bless you, I guess.
God bless you, Clementine Prince.
I want to cut out their work beyond the surface of identifying and treating lunatics and such things that we vulgarly call crazy. The situation in the country, like you have observed, and in the world generally, is such that people are being pushed to do things ordinary, beyond the ordinary, because of the need to survive. And it has even led to criminalities.